What's up, guys? Good morning, fireyourtrainer.net. I am sitting on an insanely uncomfortable stool, sort of perched here because my shit's all written weird. I wanted to elaborate on our goal setting article from the other day, 2 days ago. I wanted to sort of fill in some gaps. So what is goal setting exactly? You do it subconsciously, you do it consciously. You want to improve, generally speaking, your life in one way or another. You want to be able to pay off your house. You want to be able to go on vacations. You want to not die prematurely. Generally speaking, everyone sets these unspoken goals. What happens when you go to set a goal specifically? Specific. So let's set a goal, shall we? I want to lose 20 pounds. Do I need to lose 20 pounds? Have you seen me? Just kidding. No, I don't really need to lose 20 pounds, but hypothetically speaking, let's lose 20 pounds. So I've got a vacation coming up and I want to look the best I've ever looked. I feel like 20 pounds is probably going to get me there. Okay, so that's pretty broad. I just want to clarify for people who don't know, stop trying to lose weight. Focus on losing body fat. Weight is easy. Really easy. You can stop eating and starve yourself and lose as much weight roughly as you want to freaking lose before you die. But that doesn't mean you're gonna look good. Okay, so all that aside, 20 pounds. Measurable. So we are going to measure the body weight. We are going to measure calorie intake. We're gonna measure our macros. We're gonna measure our circumference, make sure we're actually getting smaller. We're going to measure our sleep because that's gonna play a role. Fucking down to weigh our food. We're gonna weigh our food and measure our food intakes. So, or like volume, weight, mass, matter. All right, so the next two are attainable and realistic. Attainable to me, this is to me. Attainable is can you? Realistic is should you? So can I lose 20 pounds? Yes. Should I? Probably not. Because I'm fairly lean already. Like I've probably got about 10 pounds of excess, but should I lose 20 pounds? No, probably not. So reassessing, we come back, specific. I want to lose 10 pounds because 10 pounds is about all I've got to lose. How am I going to measure it? All the things you could possibly measure. There's so much out there to measure. Attainable, realistic, yes and yes, and timely. So, or timeline, depending on how you want to look at it. So, my timeline, I'm going to go on some fictitious vacation in 3 months. So what do I need to do? I need to lose about 3 1/3 pounds a month. How am I going to do that? Go back, reassess, look at what I need to measure, and hurry the fuck up. So, let's say that I arbitrarily assign myself 2,500 calories. This week, I didn't lose any. I actually gained a little bit. So maybe that was a fluke. Who knows? Maybe I'm getting ready for my period, or maybe I had more fiber, more sodium. I've got all of this going into a delicious Excel spreadsheet. Thank you, Holly Baxter. You're awesome. Yeah, so I'm putting all this into this wonderful spreadsheet, and maybe it was a fluke. Who knows? We'll wait another week. We'll find out. We don't really have much time to waste here because it's only 3 months, but 2,500 calories. I gained a little bit again. It sort of went up and down. I'm kind of holding steady, so I should probably drop my calories. Drop down to like 2,200 calories. I know for me, I actually lose very, very, very slowly at about 2,200 calories or 2,100 calories, like teeny tiny little increments. So I probably need to drop down a little bit lower, but the average person, like if you didn't know 25, drop 300 calories a day and keep going. When you lose in, a week or 2 weeks, roughly what you anticipate that you need to lose to achieve your goal, that's where you should start pretty much. And then adjust from there. Now we need to look at goals on kind of a macro scale. What happens after your vacation? You don't really know. Like, you don't have another goal lined up, ready to go, and like you flip-flop that easy, but you should. So looking broad spectrum, across the course of my life, I want to be the best version of myself. I'm going to address my emotional state, my learning, my physical condition, and I'm going to address my spiritual requirements, whatever they may be. You've got to have a goal ready to go. after your event is done. Otherwise, you experience what's called like post-achievement or post-event blues. A lot of competitors, a lot of people who get up on stage and compete in an event, or like bodybuilding shows, things like that, they go through a period after the show of like, all right, well, what's next? Like, if you have a good head on your shoulders, you need to reverse diet and get your metabolism back where it ought to be, and that you've got a life to lead after that, so you've got stuff to keep doing. So your 16-week prep actually is more like a 32-week functioning human being thing. Schedule, whatever. But a lot of people don't know that. They think that life is over after the show. And so then they get depressed, or that life is over after the vacation even. They get a little depressed. They don't really know what to do. Their training isn't the same, but they don't really know where it's headed. So you've got to have these nested goals of the 10 pounds or 20 pounds that you're going to lose is one teeny tiny goal within a larger goal, within an even larger goal, within an even larger goal, within an even larger goal, within the grand goal of being the best version of you that you can possibly be. So moving forward, I've got like this 3-month goal for my vacation. I've got a 6-month goal for reading a book. Imagine that, reading a book. I've got a 1-year goal of paying off a car. Like, you've got things that you can shift your focus around to. They don't all have to be in the same arena. And granted, paying off a car, like, that's not something that you need to work towards day in and day out, but you do have other things like that you can think about and that you can focus on. You can develop new goals. What happens after the 10 pounds? Where do you go physically after the 10 pounds? Like, all right, I've lost my 10 pounds. Do I want to maintain my loss? Do I want to further my loss? Do I want to regain? Do I want to focus on my strength more? Like, we'll use Holly Baxter as an example right now, since she's on my mind. She went from, like, I think she was bikini competitor to now she's doing like powerlifting and stuff. So she's completely changed gears. She's not so much focused on the aesthetic as she is on building strength and getting fucking strong. So that's another idea. It's like, now you've lost your 10 pounds, where do you want to go from there? Do you want to start sculpting and toning? I hate that word. Or do you want to get super strong, or like whatever? In order to get there, these two things I really wanted to make mention: delayed gratification and honesty. Delayed gratification is literally creating sacrifice to experience benefit in the future. I'm terrible with suppressing impulse. My impulse is eat a candy bar. It's not, well, yeah, it kind of is, sorry. It kind of is, actually. Eat a candy bar. I ate one last night, as a matter of fact. Outside of what I'm supposed to eat for the day to maintain my, path along this goal, which do I want more? Do I want this candy bar in my face right now, or do I want to achieve my goal 3 months from now and look ballin' on this vacation? Shit. That's a tough decision. You have to practice delayed gratification. It fosters discipline, accountability. It makes you a lot more successful in the long haul. I'm watching my cat roll this ball with a bell in it around. It is driving me bananas, but as long as he's not underfoot. So then, being honest, have you ever been driving in like a more rural area and your GPS all of a sudden pops you over like 2 roads and you're like, what the fuck? Why does it think that I'm turning here and I'm not turning here? Dishonesty is like fucked up GPS. And so if you don't know where you are, where you've been, and where you're going, you have there's no way you're gonna get there. You have no clue. For instance, I had a new client consult recently. She was like, oh, I'm 45, but I tell people that I'm 43. Why? Like, really? Does 2 years make you seem that much younger? Not really. That's an example of that. It's not good. It's not good for your character. It's not good for other people's interpretation of you. Let's say you're one of these like willfully blind people that's like, oh, I weigh 120 when you really weigh like 160. What? No. How are you supposed to lose 10 pounds? Like, how are you supposed to function? Like, seriously? If you're so blind that you think that someone's gonna believe that you're 120 and you're 160 or 150, like, you've got a lot more to work on than your weight. So knowing where you are and knowing where you've been will get you where you're going. But if you constantly tell yourself lies like, oh, that doesn't count. I ate that little bite of something. It doesn't count. Yes, the fuck it does. It's in your intestines. It's being absorbed. It counts. I don't care if it was 5 baby carrots. It fucking counts, man. Be accountable. If it goes in your mouth, it goes in your food log. I will get off my high horse now. Part of reaching into success with goals is playing the role of the person you want to be, not who you necessarily are. So if I want to be Michelle Pfeiffer, I don't know why I would want to be Michelle Pfeiffer, even though she's awesome. If I want to be Michelle Pfeiffer, I'm probably going to get into acting. I'm going to go out for, super awesome roles, and I'm going to be fucking, oh my God, Catwoman was like the best. I'm sure some of you are going to argue that Catwoman was not her best role, but from what I've seen, I freaking love Catwoman. Like that scene when she's like, meow.
Meow.
I'm an 80s child, so anyway, you gotta practice who you want to be, and for me, it's the best version of myself. If I wake up and my house is a mess, and part of being my best self is like keeping it tidy, which I think that that's actually really important. Like if you're a messy hoarder and you live in chaos, then there's no order that's going to come from that. You have got to follow Jordan Peterson's rules and clean your room or your house. Your life will follow. Or the Marie Kondo style of life. Does this bring me joy? No. So practicing who you want to be is incredibly important. I just want to kind of come full circle. SMART goals, what I outlined in the article, are a very, 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 very small snapshot of a much larger picture. You have to have overarching goals so that you can keep your steamship moving forward, and you have to practice impulse control, discipline, delayed gratification, and be honest with yourself about where you're headed. So thank you guys very much for watching. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, find my Instagram, fire.your.trainer, find my website, subscribe. You can get a lot more in-depth into the material covered through the series that way. If you become a member, I'm gonna have some new member material coming up on the wagon. Basically how not to fuck up on the weekends and how to control your impulses, how to actually practice that delayed gratification and make it a thing. Please leave comments. I love feedback, like legit love feedback. If it's like, hey, you're ugly, I'm probably gonna ignore it. But if it's constructive criticism, I love it. So have a great day, guys, and I will talk to you soon.